All right, next mod. I have bought some bark busters, good Australian company. These ones are specific to the Transalp, if you can see through the plastic. And there is heaps of videos on this about how to do this, but I reckon I'll do one myself anyway, because why not? And it's kind of cool. So I'm looking at putting the bark busters on, and they are going to protect my hands, especially riding in winter with the wind going past it. If I go past some wader wire, we all know how much fun wader wire is when it grabs hold of your hand on the way through, something like that. Yeah, so the bark busters are generally for protecting everything, including the clutches themselves, clutch handle, brake handle themselves. Nice. Very important thing, number one, is obviously to get yourself a container to put all the bits in. Don't just sort of let it all roll onto the floor and you'll lose stuff and things. So open him up. All right, what do we have? We've got some stuff here. Okay, you got the aluminium brackets, some more bracketry there. These things are awesome. They are really made well. They're going to be strong as. A couple of different size Allen key head countersunk bolts. There's one teensy weensy little washer. You've got these spacers, they are different lengths. One of these is for the accelerator, so hence I think that's the long one, and the other short one goes on the clutch side. Okay, so the idea there, obviously, the accelerator, the longer one, gives you that little bit more clearance so that the accelerator can actually move and not get all jammed up. You've got a couple of bar weights here as well. Bam, that's it. Doesn't look like much, let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, they're saying just to undo the left-hand side, the clutch side first, and take the counterweight off here. They said it can be a bit tight, so let's see how we go just with a Phillips head screwdriver. Yeah, not that one. I'll go for a bigger screwdriver, I think. All right, I'll just get that seated in there. Don't want to push this bike over either. And that's not going anywhere. All right, let's call out the big guns. It's kind of crazy, but okay. Maybe they've used some Loctite on it. This should get it out. There we go. And just a light tap and we're done. All right, they said to make sure that you retain the internal counterweight balance as well. So when I pull this out, oops. Okay, I can see the thread there, and you can see in that shot that that's the original counterweight. I don't think I'm going to use that. I don't think I need to. Let's see what happens next. Okay, so I've got to get the right guard, metal bracket guard. Okay, she's bent up like this, so that when it goes onto the handlebar itself, it kind of comes down like that. Okay, and all I'm doing is grabbing the really long bolt and the counterweight that they give us, and I'm putting those together. Like that, and there's a little spacer we have to add too, which is the 16mm spacer, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'll double check. Well, I would have got 90% for that, not 100%. It's 15mm, not 16mm. It's the short one. The short one goes on the left-hand side because you don't need to rotate the grip on the left-hand side, doesn't matter if it jams up. The long one goes on the right-hand side because it has to allow for clearance on the throttle itself. That makes sense. 15mm spacer, that friendly one. Okay, sweet, putting it all together. That's what she looks like. Get the finger out the way, sir. And the spacer goes on the end. And all you're doing is just putting that back loosely onto the handlebar. Not that hard at all. And they said don't tighten it up yet, All right, I won't. I might do it a bit tighter than that. Now, they say once all this is done up and everything's cool, to come back and Loctite everything with your friendly blue Loctite. Here we are. Old 243 Loctite. It's the one, it's the blue one. Don't go for permanent Loctite for obvious reasons. You might want to take this off one day and change your grips. This one's the one. Okay, so the next thing they talk about is moving this whole clutch assembly over a bit closer to the switch box, which is interesting. They call it a perch. I didn't know it was called a perch. I guess it all perches on there, doesn't it? Like a parrot sitting on its, on its little stick, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so that needs to come over a bit. Sort of thinking about maybe I should kind of take record of the angle of it. Well, I can see that the mirror is virtually vertical. They've usually got a little punch mark on there. Oh, there it is. So on the handlebar itself, there's a little punch mark down there showing the position of where the split should be. So there, that's always a reference. So I can undo these friendly little things. Nice and carefully. Oh, that was already loose. Probably because the top one I just loosened too. Yeah, that'll be right. Okay, cool, cool. Yep, this can come over. Just a wee bit, come on. Or maybe I'll loosen them a bit more. Oh no, my black screws aren't totally black anymore. They've got little marks on them. You know what? Once I put this on the dirt, it's gonna have a lot more than that. Okay, sweet, so move him over a bit. Okay, so I've just moved that over a tiny little bit. And now we go and get the next bracket. Yes, sometimes I think my OCD comes out a little bit here. There was a little burr on the end of that. I had to file it off because that's just who I am. Okay, this other side, need my friendly Allen key. I need that bracket. I need the little baby Allen head countersunk bolt. And that's going to sneak underneath everything. This is really awesome because it's actually designed perfectly for this bike. Exactly, it's not like a one fits all. It's actually designed perfectly. So there's no swivel joint or anything here. It actually is made to fit. The end of it, you can see, is on an angle. So you just got to make sure you get the right one. There is a left and a right hand one. It's pretty easy, just get the right one. So just undoing these, putting them down so I don't lose them. So I'm really good at doing that. Stick it in my gob. Put it under here. Come on. All right, and sneak that little bracket around the back. Maybe I should be using a head bracket so you guys can see what I'm doing better. Might be something I need to invest in. Oh, that's a bit tight, a bit tight. Okay, better to be a little bit tight than too loose, hey? So that it doesn't fall out in the future. And again, remember, all of these aren't done up tightly yet because you need to go and put some blue tack. No, you need to put some of the correct thread lock on it, Loctite. Now that's going to come around here. This is in the wrong position. I don't want to scratch up that bar. So I'm just going to fiddle with this a little bit and get it in the right place. So the next thing is the next thing. We need to go and do that over on this side as well. Well, I'm going to expect that it's exactly the same and needs a bit of a whack. Now the only difference here, instead of just putting the counterweight inside, apparently you also need to put this little washer here as well inside when you're putting the bracket together. I did see that mentioned on the internet, and they also mention it as well in the instruction manual. Right. You can see on there that was the factory Loctite. So you can see they haven't put much on there, just a little bit. Just remember that. Don't flood yours when you put it together, just put a little bit in there. Next thing's next. Come back around here. Bolt goes in. Come on. Then the baby spacer. And then the big spacer. And this is the wider one. You might ask me, well, how wide is that one? Well, if I can remember where I put my calipers, that is 17 mil. Look at the length of the bolt. They don't want this one to come out in a hurry. Allen keys, obviously, will be next. There's a fly crawling over my sandwich, which I'm a bit sad about. Oh, dill. Guess we forgot to put the counterweight on. Or the handlebar weight, I should say. Me. I'm going to put that inside. So weight goes on, spacer goes in, spacer goes in. Let's put all of that onto the bike. Now that looks a bit better. It didn't make sense before. Okay. Just tighten that up a little bit. Okay, sweet. Not too much though. Okay, now here, they do mention that you've got to undo this perch. That you've got to undo this perch as well and get it out the way so that the bracket will be able to be fitted. Yeah, cool, okay. Loosen him off a bit. I'm tossing up whether or not to actually angle this down over a bit. I've got to admit, I'm not sure if I want to. Maybe I do, I just don't know at the moment. Because when I'm mountain biking, my mountain bike brake handles are down on around about a 15 degree, 30 degree angle down. So I'm wondering, when I'm standing, I'm having difficulty getting onto that clutch and brake. It's something I think I need to work on. I need to talk to some people about that know more about it than I do. Oh, the paint's coming off on my white paint. Yeah, get over it, Les, get on with it. All right, here's a trick for young players. I've just taken both of these out of the, I guess it's called a Bark Busters perch. What a funny word. And you'll notice that there's a long one and a short one, so just be aware of that. So the long one obviously will go down the bottom there like that. So this is going to be a bit of fun, getting this into the right position. I'm just going to put that in there loose, so I've got somewhat of an idea of where it's going to go. Come on. What's happening? Oh, I've got these cables. So are they going to go above or below? I reckon they're going to go below. Yep, below is the right choice. And I'll show you that. See here, you've got these plugs and you've got some cables and you've got some stuff and some things there. These cables are going to go below. They're the accelerator cables for the fly-by-wire. All right, I might have to move this over a bit just for the moment to get this into position. Come on, here's a good boy. There we go. All right. Yeah, because it's the wrong one. Take two. going to go to about there. All right, that's just loose at the moment. That's loose at the moment. That's in the right spot. I can see that's right on there. I'm a bit worried about that right now, actually. These wires for this plug, what is it? That is, it's on the brakes. It's on the clutch, I should say. No, it's in the front brakes, idiot. Front brakes. Yeah, it can sort of be manoeuvred up. I might have to put something on that, like a little clip or something. But then these were further out. They were about there somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's kind of nicer when it's further out. Yeah, that might sit there somewhere, I think. There's the dot where they should be. Yeah, that'll work. But I've got to get it in there first, so let's take that back to where it was. And let's sneak this thing around, the right way around. Sneak him in. Sneak that in there. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Like I bought one. Very nice. Okay. Little one at the top, big one down the bottom. Once that is in place, this wire and that brake can fit back to where it was. And yeah, that's okay. That's okay, because it's actually supported nicely on the bracket. I'm okay with that. It's probably the brake level, the brake fluid level, in case it gets a bit low, I'd say. Cool. Do those up. Hit them up with Loctite. That looks good. That's going to work well. There's kind of not going to be any interference there. This comes all the way around here. There's good clearance there. Come around the other way. Yeah, there's good clearance there as well. Beauty, happy days.